Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 195 of the Best Bits podcast, and this is Mark Denholm from The Breakfast Show, guiding you through what we've harvested this week, which includes genuine photos, charging for love, things you should not do involving your bum, tips on being a successful Romeo or a successful Juliet, a huge mistaken McDonalds. We talked evaluations and improvements. We talked complaints and resolutions. And we also spoke about revenge, a dish best served cold, which in this case it may or may not have been. Enjoy.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
6:23 morning then, Mark Denholm at Breakfast on Atom Radio. If the average person listens to 25 songs a day, that would even span this show, would it? Judging by when we play songs, that wouldn't span this show. Therefore, I feel that the average person should up their music listening content per day.
This is Mark Denholm
at Breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Jimmy Carr has caused controversy again, making a brutal dig at Amanda Holden's new face in a savage quip. But you know what? I don't get that. There's so many people now. I think it's really, really hard in this day and age, even people who don't go down the surgery route. I think it's so hard to find a photo online that isn't filtered. And I have to say, ladies, I am looking at you here. I don't think men do it the same, if I'm honest. I just don't think they do. But most ladies are lovers of filters. Just throwing it out there, ladies. Maybe it is that you look just amazing without one.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
Morning, 6:14. Mark Denholm at Breakfast, banging out the anthems on Atom Radio. Welcome to Tuesday. Reasons that men cry less than women. It is scientifically proven. Women have larger tear ducts, which prohibits their eyes from leaking easily. And I don't think that must be written the wrong way round. And according to a study, when you blush, the side of your face that's being stared at the hardest by other people will blush the most. I don't know that that's scientific or not. I have absolutely no idea.
Mark Denholm at Breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Fully understood that song. When they pay for the love of a girl with a heart of gold. Surely if she had a heart of gold, she wouldn't be charging. Otherwise, you know, when you pay for the love of a girl who will take your card of gold, that would be more appropriate, would it not?
This is Mark Denholm
at Breakfast.
Atom Radio.
You're thinking today of shoving something up your bottom? Don't. It cost the NHS £350,000 last year dealing with people who shove stuff up their bottom. I don't know why you do it. I really don't, but apparently it costs the NHS a lot of money.
This is Mark Denholm
at Breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Welcome to Tuesday. Today we're talking about love, funny enough. Well, maybe not quite love, but we're talking about dating. And a recent study has shown that touching someone on the shoulder or on the arm when you ask them out increases their chances of saying yes. Does it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. On air at atomradio.co.uk, though, for your suggestion today of a way to ask someone out that is going to increase their likelihood of saying yes. And Paul, morning to you. Couldn't agree more with you, Paul. Paul says, perhaps if they ditch the filtered pictures, they'd be more likely to get people to want to ask them out. And that in itself is also true, all right? That's true as well. Like so many people nowadays use filtered pictures. And then when you actually meet them, who are you? They're just not recognizable by their pictures in any stretch of the imagination at all. And I don't get that. So yeah, Paul, that's true. Ditch the filtered pictures and maybe people would be more likely to get to a stage of wanting to ask you out.
Mark Denholm at Breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Having no friends could be as deadly as smoking, a Harvard University study shows. Oh dear. Imagine if you're a smoker who has no friends. And think on this, dogs love you even if you're ugly. But then beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and who has the right to judge?
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
It is Wednesday. It's still half-term incoming, and even if you haven't got half-term, the weekend is incoming anyway. Liz Truss is still Prime Minister, just in case you're wondering. Jeremy Hunt is still Chancellor, and Mark Denholm is still doing breakfast. Now that was never, ever, ever in doubt, was it? That was never in doubt. mainly because I am the boss and I don't really feel that I'm going to sack myself, to be fair. Otherwise, I mean, imagining that. I'm so sorry, Mark. I'm going to have to let you go. Oh, Mark, that really, really hurts. No, that just isn't going to happen, I'm afraid.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning. Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthem. 7:14. This is Atom Radio. On this day 12 years ago, McDonald's mistakenly packed and distributed 5,000 Happy Meals, you know, the children's meals. Rather than a toy, though, they put a condom in rather than a toy.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Welcome to Wednesday. It is hump day today. It's the middle of the week and the school run is underway. Today is International Gin and Tonic Day. It's National Pharmacy Technician Day. And those are very, very good, but they're not what I want to talk about, because today is also Evaluate Your Life Day. And should you have evaluated your life, I'd like to know today, what area of improvement would you find in your own life? On air at atomradio.co.uk, how you get in touch on any given day. And today it's about the area you would improve if you evaluated your life on Evaluate Your Life Day. And we'll say morning to Kelly and happy Wednesday to you. I feel a bit bad now because I'm digging up some uncomfortable things. Kelly says, if I was to evaluate my life, I'd cut out an awful lot of, and she's put here in quotes, friends that aren't really friends, that only ever want me when it suits them. But whenever I say to them, let's do something, oh yeah, that's a good idea, and they never ever come through. We all have those, Kelly. You know what? We all have those. I wouldn't feel so bad on Evaluate Your Life Day about discovering them, because your life will only get better once you cut them from it. Good luck to you.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Tim says, if I was to evaluate my life and wanted to make one area of improvement, it's probably about time I asked my girlfriend to marry me and be my wife. We've been together now for 12 years and I know that I'm never ever going to do any better than her. She's amazing and she makes me so happy, and it probably is about time that I was to propose to her and to make an honest woman of her. Woohoo! That might be the best email I've ever had on this show. Do I get an invite to the wedding now? Given that, I've sparked you on here with this thought of evaluating your life, do I get an invite to the wedding? Genuinely, Tim, I am so happy to you, and you haven't given me your girlfriend's name, but I hope that she's happy when you pop the question and get the ring out and all that. I hope she's happy and over the moon. And I wish you many, many happy wedded years, even though you've not proposed yet. I've got a good feeling about this, Tim. I wish you all the very best. Thank you for your email and have a lush Wednesday.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Think on this. The difference between like, love and in love is the same as the difference between now, for a while, and forever. So therefore, I would hope that you are absolutely forever with this show, if you get what I'm saying.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
People are a bit upset with the Cookie Monster. The Cookie Monster is not actually his real name. The Cookie Monster has a name. The Cookie Monster's name is Sid. Now, I knew that anyway. I knew that, and don't ask me how. I'm fairly certain I knew that from my childhood anyway, but people are up in shock now saying that this has just been revealed. And yet I knew that anyway. I don't get where this has come from.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
A lady in America has complained to American Airlines. She claims her flight was ruined because she was wedged between two, as she calls them, obese people. And she documented the whole thing on social media, the whole flight, saying that it was very uncomfortable and going on to, some say, fat shame the people who were sat on either side of her, body shame them. And I don't want to get into that, right? Because, people are people, and some are big and some are small, and that's just the way the world is. And if we're all identical, it'd be a pretty boring place. But American Airlines did compensate the lady, though, for her complaint by giving her a voucher. So I want to know today, therefore, what has been the most successful complaint that you have ever made, and what was your outcome from this complaint? Morning, Jody. Jody says, I ordered something for my daughter's birthday on a well-known online store, and it was due to be delivered 2 days before my daughter's birthday, and I thought it did not arrive. And I asked them where it was on the due date. When it said it was delivered, it certainly didn't appear to be delivered. And I asked them, and there was nothing. And they said, no, you have to wait a certain amount of days. And sure enough, it didn't arrive by my daughter's birthday, or so I thought. And I waited, and then I complained. And I said that it had ruined my daughter's birthday because it was something very special. And they gave me a refund, and they also gave me a £50 voucher. And then I found what had actually happened was the delivery guy had put it in through the window and it had fallen down behind the radiator. I found that a couple of weeks later when I was cleaning up. It was actually behind the radiator all the time, and he had delivered it after all.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Before we go any further, I just want to say I called it right, didn't I? I said yesterday would be the last day of Liz Truss before she resigned, and whoopie-doo, Liz Truss resigned. I just want to say I called it right. Morning and welcome to Friday.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
1,983 days I have been on this here radio station. I just thought I'd mention that. 1,983 days, which roughly equates to, are you ready for this? Roughly equates to 1,939 more than Liz Truss lasted as Prime Minister. I just thought I'd say that. I must be doing something right.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, don't they say? Well, the coal walker from Manchester apparently got the ultimate revenge. She shared it on TikTok, and people praised her revenge as being the best revenge ever. What happened? Well, Nicole's girlfriend cheated on her, and Nicole decided to get revenge by pouring glitter all over her ex-girlfriend's house, including the fridge and the bed and the entire house, filmed the whole thing and shared it on TikTok. However, I want to know, what is the best revenge that you have ever got? If it's been like something that breaks the law or something, I don't want to know. But if it's fun, then that's all good. And I'll take that on air at atomradio.co.uk this Friday morning for the best revenge that you have ever got. And we will start for Friday with Craig. Morning to you, and thank you for your email. Craig says, when I went to uni, we had a shared kitchen, and one of the other students always used to drink my milk, but not only drink my milk, but finish my milk and then put it back. So then when I went to go and make a cup of tea, or when I went to have cereal, there was never any milk left. And this used to really, really annoy me. So I eventually found out who it was that was drinking the milk, and I got my own back by buying a stick of glue and removing every label off every tin she had in her food cupboard, and then sticking them all back on. And it took me ages to do. I knew she was out for the day. It took me ages to do with a kettle, steaming them all off, and then stuck them all back on other tins. So every tin she opened was not what she expected that it would be. Oh, Craig, I think that's amazing. I really do. I have to say, I mean, I'd be fuming if that was me, but then I wouldn't be drinking your milk, though. Top work, Craig. Thank you for your email. Have a lush Friday.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
I don't know where I stand on revenge, if I'm honest. I think everyone likes the idea of it, don't they? But I think maybe as you get a little bit older, you just think, no, they'll screw themselves up anyway, and there's no real point in wasting your time or your energy on it. But then what I will say is the top tip from earlier in the week of things you shouldn't do with your bum. Yeah, I stand by that one, if I am honest. Definitely do not do that with your bum. It is half term. If you are listening to this on Saturday 22nd when it comes out, it's the start of half term. And what that also is for me is a week off as well. What that does mean is that there will be no podcast as of next Saturday, because there's no show at all this week, and I will be back on Tuesday, the 1st of November. So you get a little break from me. Although if you're missing me too much, you can always go back and listen to the shows again, or indeed listen to previous podcasts. Thank you for checking out this podcast, though. Don't forget to subscribe in your favourite podcast app. Indeed, also on YouTube as well. That's a special message from my son that says, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also search for him, Will Denholm, on YouTube and like and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And he will absolutely love that. And I'm sure he'll be boosting it up during half term as well. Thank you for checking out episode 195 of the podcast.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Podcast.